magical beings. Welcome back to my channel. I am the Woodland Witch, and in today's video we are going to be talking about self-care when it comes to witchcraft. I had originally planned a spellcrafting 101 video, but this felt more appropriate this week. This is where I am at, and after I did a little check-in on my Instagram the other day, I noticed this is where a lot of you are at as well. I received so many responses from people just really struggling and feeling low, feeling uncertain, feeling overwhelmed. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've been doing to give myself a little bit more love and to take care of myself when I'm feeling overwhelmed and things are just a little crazy. So it's been a couple weeks since I've filmed any content. Thank you to those of you who noticed and who reached out to me to check in and make sure that I was okay. I'm doing okay. Things just got really hectic, really busy. I was reaching a level of burnout that hasn't happened in quite a long time. And I really just needed to take a rest and take a break. In all of that craziness, some very exciting things did happen. Full Craft and Flora Apothecary is now a limited liability company. This is the next step into a much bigger dream of mine, and I'm just so excited and proud of myself. And so thankful to you all for supporting this business and this dream of mine. We also had our shop update and added Prosper to the Simmer Pot family. So there were a lot of exciting things happening, but overall I just did not have any energy to really put any content out. And that's something I'm really coming to terms with, is I don't have to constantly be producing. And I've talked about this in other videos before, where I feel this innate drive to just keep going and pushing and filling my time with tasks and projects and always thinking about the next step. And so when I received that LLC and I had my shop update, I really just wanted to sit with that accomplishment and to really just feel it, to feel excited about it, to feel proud of it, instead of filling my time with what's next. And I think that's a big part of self-care. Protecting your energy is so important, and that can be magically or mundanely. It could be as simple as saying yes to something that makes you feel good, that makes you happy, that's not overwhelming, and saying no to the things that you just can't bring yourself to do right now. If it's not making you happy, it's making you feel uncomfortable, it's making you feel overwhelmed, learning to say yes and no to protect your energy. Learning to say no to the things that really aren't helping you at a specific point in time is so important, and it's very hard. But when we do that, we are preserving ourselves and preserving our energy, especially when you're reaching that level of burnout where you have so much on your plate that you can't fathom taking anything else on. So that is part of the reason why I wasn't posting. I just wanted to take some time for me and to rest and to replenish and recharge myself. Usually when I'm feeling burnout to this level, I like to do a ritual that I have known as an uncrossing ritual. It is a 3-day ritual. I'm not going to get too much into the details of it. So the first day I like to focus on outward energy in the world, things that aren't making me feel good, energy that I'm taking on that doesn't belong to me, maybe energy I'm picking up from those around me. I really like to focus on cutting energetic ties from all of that, cleansing it out, refreshing, restarting. The second day, I usually focus on my inward energy. This is energy that I'm creating for myself. So if I am in a really down mood, I tend to speak very negatively. And that's hard not to do sometimes. It's really difficult to sit there and be positive when you're feeling so crappy. So on that second day, I like to really sit with myself, cleanse out any of those things that I am bringing upon myself, or those thoughts and behaviors that I have that just aren't serving me. I usually journal on that day and really just get to the root of everything that I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it, and how I can help make it better. Because a lot of times we don't realize how much control we actually have over the things we speak and the things that we do. It's very hard to catch sometimes. Sometimes I find myself dwelling on one really negative thought for like a solid minute, and I'm just like, why am I doing this? So I really like to challenge myself on day 2 to get to the root of my emotions and the things I'm feeling and things that I may be contributing to myself. And on day 3 is when I call in all new energy. I call forth the things that I want in my space: happiness, passion, joy, comfort, stability. And that kind of ties me into the next thing that I think is so important when it comes to self-care, and that is caring for your home and your space. I read a book called The House Witch, and in that book there was a quote, and it has stuck with me forever, and it said, "The way that you care for your home and your space is a direct reflection of how you care for yourself." And that really challenged me. And I realized that the more cluttered my home was, when I let laundry pile up, dishes pile up, things weren't kept up with, I noticed that that started to directly affect the energy and the way that I was feeling. So when it comes to self-care, taking care of my space in my home is one of the top priorities for me, because I find when I put care into those things, it's directly affecting me, but I also realize that I deserve the same amount of care that I'm putting into these other things. And that if I can give so much care to my pile of dishes and my pile of laundry, then I can keep myself going. I can put that much care into myself, and I deserve it. I'm a Taurus, and my birth chart is mostly Earth. So stability, comfort, peace, those are all things that are really important to me. So putting that loving energy and care into my home really helps me do it for myself. And I can't even explain how much just cleaning my sheets and getting into a nice clean bed boosts my mood. I also like to use a lot of cleaning products and things that are infused with energies that I'm trying to bring forth. A lot of the scents I like to use are lavender or orange and bergamot. Those scents are all correspondences of positivity, uplifting the mood, bringing forth peace and comfort. So creating that comforting space and that safe space for you to dwell is going to directly help you take care of yourself, because when you feel safe in the space that you're in and you feel comfortable in the space that you're in, you start to open up a little bit, and it's like, okay, what more can I do to keep this feeling going? It also helps keep the energies that you don't really want lingering. The energy of your home directly affects you. If you come home with something, it's consuming the space. Even if you cleanse yourself, it can still linger and attach. So make sure that you're taking care of the space around you as well. I spoke about this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to touch on it a little bit more, and that is unplugging. Unplugging from social media, unplugging from the internet, from the news, whatever it is that is overwhelming you and making you feel the way that you are. Separate yourself from it. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't remain informed, and ignorance is not bliss, but sometimes you have to step away and just take some time to recover and to clear your mind and rest. So for me this week, that was social media. I was feeling very overwhelmed trying to keep up with posting and promoting my business, and even just the things in the world that were going on. That was just overwhelming. In these times of uncertainty and uncomfortability, unplugging and separating is probably one of the best things that you can do. I know the last couple of weeks I was feeling very uncertain about the future. I was feeling really overwhelmed and just bogged down by what has been going on. Thinking about the future for my child and just everything that's going on is a little scary. And that fear is totally valid. I know when I did my check-in the other day, a lot of you were feeling the same way. And sometimes the only thing I feel like will help me get through that is to just separate and unplug and focus on other things. And really just to be present. A lot of times when I do this sort of unplugging, I spend a lot of my time outside. Nature is my safe haven. It is where I go when I'm overwhelmed, when I feel trapped, when I feel scared. I go outside. I spend time with the plant allies in the area, the nature spirits, and really just try to stay grounded. Being outside and being in nature is what makes me feel the most secure, the most safe. So anything and everything I can do outside, I will do. And that's a form of meditating all on its own, but meditation is super helpful too for me around this time. Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, being able to sit there and just focus my energy into a guided meditation, or even just listening to specific music. When I go to bed at night, I listen to subliminal rain sounds, and you can find them for a bunch of different things. But what I've been listening to as of late is a healing subliminal rain sound. There are some for confidence and for self-love, releasing the past. These rain sounds play these affirmations subliminally, so while you're listening to it while you sleep, these things are being brought into your mind and into your thoughts. Having those subliminal sounds has been really helpful for me. I do struggle to just sit and focus on meditation sometimes, especially when I'm feeling really scattered, overwhelmed, and just afraid. Being able to hear those while I'm sleeping and have those affirmations being spoken into my mind is really, really helpful. So I just started doing this next thing a couple of days ago when I did that little check-in with everybody. I asked what everyone has been doing to care for themselves a little bit in this time. And I got a lot of people who said dancing, and I think that's amazing. I love the idea of using movement to channel energy and move energy through you. I just fell in love with that idea. So I've started dancing, jumping. I do exercise and go to the gym, so I've started turning that into a ritual of passing energy and moving through the feelings that I'm having. I lit my deity candles last night and I just had a dance party in my room. And I can't even tell you how uplifting and positive it felt. So that is one new thing I've really enjoyed doing. It's fun, it's happy, it's uplifting, and even doing it as an offering. Like I said, I lit my deity candles and I just danced. And I gave that up as an offering to them, as an act of self-care and love for myself. So when I'm feeling really scared and overwhelmed, one of the things that helps me a lot is warmth. Whether that is a really warm blanket, a fireplace, or just sitting in the shower and letting the warm water run on me, a ritual bath, just soaking in the warmth. It makes me feel comforted, it makes me feel safe. So I especially make time for that. I will say at times like this, it's really hard to add in new things for a routine of self-care. So I try to implement things that I'm already doing in a self-love way. So taking a ritual shower or bath. I don't have a bathtub at this house, but I do use shower steamers. You see bath bombs, bath soaks, that's awesome. But for someone who doesn't have a bath, shower steamers are the way to go. You can usually find them infused with certain herbs and plants. I have some that have eucalyptus and rosemary in them. That aromatherapy, that cleansing, that protection. It's also a wonderful way to protect your energy, to cleanse your energy. Now, like I said, I just have a shower right now, but when I used to have a bathtub, this book was absolutely amazing. This is Ritual Baths. There's a ton of different bath rituals in here. I like it because it is a ritual. It's not just here's some ingredients, it tells you what they're for. It also gives you a tea pairing to continue adding to that warm, comforting spirit. This confidence bath used to be my go-to. You can put your own blends together, but when I'm feeling really low and just no energy, I like to have something that will do it for me. So I definitely recommend getting this book. I also really like The Witch's Book of Self-Care. This book was written by Erin Murphy Hiscock, who also wrote the House Witch book that I was referencing in the beginning of the video. It's a very simple book, but it's all about self-care and taking care of yourself in your magical practice. I've said this a million times on my channel, and I will say it again. You are your most important tool. This gives you a lot of ways that you can nurture that tool and take care of yourself. There's comfort foods in here, different beauty products, bath rituals, tea blends, workings for confidence and authenticity. So I really like this book. I reference it every so often. And if you're unsure where to start on your self-care journey and you need some more ideas, I think it's a great one. So the last thing I think is really important when it comes to self-care and witchcraft is rest. Sometimes you have to take a step away from your craft, and that doesn't invalidate your practice in any way, shape, or form. When we rest, we can help determine the yes and the no. What is making me feel overwhelmed? What is going to help make me feel better? And as much as we have been taught to keep pushing and producing, sometimes the best thing that you can do for yourself is to allow yourself to just be. And that is our video on self-care. I hope that it benefited you in some way, and I hope that you are being gracious with yourself and meeting yourself where you are. It is a crazy time to be alive right now, and things are very easily overwhelming and confusing and scary. Create community, find people, ask for help. You are not alone in this and how you are feeling. So as I said, be gracious with yourself and allow yourself to be just as you are. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.